Luna here. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to be doing a reading for the whole month. So I will be doing Dragon Oracle deck, Dragonfae Oracle deck, and your Fae blessings for Mercury retrograde. Also, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, Aries. Y'all got us like, and when I say y'all, I mean all the zodiac signs. How's my channel going to get out there and help people if y'all are not liking it? Hello, I cannot be everybody's best kept secret, babes. Like, that's the whole point of YouTube, is not being a best kept secret. So, and I know you guys don't like it when people hide things from you. So, Aries, it'd be best to share or like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to tip me or book an emergency session with me, you may do so down in the description box below. On top of that, I will be accepting emergency appointments until May 27th because I will be on a 2-week break. I have a wedding coming up for one of my family members. I've been telling y'all about this, and it's coming down to the wire, and I still have things that I have to go get done for this, and I got to meet and greet family. I got to meet the new family. You know, lots of stuff going on with that. I'm also now in the service, so I now have to attend certain things. So I'm just letting you guys know I will be off for Mercury retrogrades, like post-shadow, but this reading's going to go till post-shadow. So don't worry about it. I've got you covered. So let's go ahead, and also if you want to join me for your zodiac signs, rites, rituals, spell work, incantations through unconditional love, and getting messages straight from the Isis Oracle, Mother Isis herself, join me on Patreon for that. I go over the rites, how you do them, what you may face, the spell casting, how you do it, what tools you can use. I also give the author's perspective as well as mine for this deck because they have certain spell casting techniques, but I also have my own. So I give you guys substitutions. I've pulled at least more than 3 cards for everybody, and you get direct messages from, Mother Isis herself. She's like, enough talking about me. I'm like, okay, fine. Then I have also the full moon in Scorpio reading posted. It will be posted by the beginning of May. So just FYI, go ahead and join that tier now on Patreon because you'll have access to the full moon reading in Libra. So you'll have the best of both worlds. You get the Libra and the Scorpio reading. So show me, please, clearest of divine guidance for Aries. My beautiful Aries, my beautiful dragon guides. Show me for Aries, what does Aries need to know about Mercury retrograde? Okay, I'm only pulling 4 cards. So show me, please, for Aries, what else is coming through my awesome dragon energies? My beautiful dragon totem. What do you got? Oh, okay. All right. And you got 1 extra one. 2 extra one. You and Pisces. Okay, this one's been coming up for some signs. Hold on. Okay, that one came up for Pisces too, and this one came up for Capricorn. Makes sense because these are like in the back parts of your chart. Like these 3 definitely came up. So let's see what came up in this. This one came up for Scorpio. Okay, yeah, Aries, you're being highly affected right now by a lot of planetary alignments. Just because a lot of these cards came up for the other sun signs, this one came up in Scorpio's sun sign placement, like the very first card too. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is Archangel Gabriel's dragon. Now, Archangel Gabriel, and this deck in particular, works not just with Christian energy or Christian deities or angels. It also works with other deities of other cultures, just FYI. But for those of you who don't know, art historically, Archangel Gabriel or Gabriel is known to be the angel of annunciation, the angel of purity, the angel that represents new birth and new life, but also lilies. He gives lilies. And with this deck, you guys have access to using Archangel Gabriel's dragon. Brings purification, which honestly, Aries, I think you might need. I think Eris is causing way too many problems for you a little bit. Even though, yeah, she's in Aries, but Chiron is making you heal and going through stuff. But, you know, everything going on in your 12th house with Pisces is getting quite muddled and emotional. And so, like, you're having to take a step back. And I think it would be wise to ask and invoke this dragon to come in and help purify whatever is not serving you right now in terms of negativity. Also, and it could do with any area of your life. This is about being self-disciplined as well. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond with you. Now, this is a metaphorical diamond, but if you have like the cubic zirconian crystals or real diamonds, you could probably enchant them around the full moon and have Archangel Gabriel extend some light energy from their diamond into yours. That's what I would do. But if I had that, I don't, and all my jewelry like is in San Antonio, so unfortunately. But it's a thought, it's an idea. But see, in terms of this deck, it talks about ascension as in going from lower self to higher self. So it's gonna go at your pace. But this talks about using self-discipline to speed your ascension along. Also, I have the next card, the Royal Blue and Gold Dragon. Strengthen you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. Now, it's interesting that this talks about like majesty, and this talks about also, standing in your own power and wisdom. Aries, I'm not going to say you guys aren't wise. You guys are very wise. You guys work with the inner child. I think you are going to learn new insights and perspective about, especially because I make this content for adults, how your inner child had to really either A, fend for itself, or develop on its own in order to help you become a better adult. That might be something you might want to look at. And there's majesty in that too. But, this card talks about, it's very regal and royal in a sense. And this isn't so much as like an ego thing as much as it is reminding you that, you can tap into that energy with your own behavior should you choose to. Instead of being low vibe, you can use it to grace you with higher vibrational energy and also behaviors too. Especially if you've been like trying to change and you have people of low vibration constantly trying to drag you down. This might be a perfect way to resolve that and work through that. Now your next part, because this is like week 1, week 2, week 3. Week 3, we have Earth and Water Dragon. Oh, I love this dragon. Creates the foundation for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. Now, when I look at your chart, your second house, this is going to be pivotal, and where your 8th house is with Scorpio is going to be pivotal this month, because this is hitting on the full moon. There's going to be a full moon in Scorpio, and let's not forget Capricorn. Your 10th house, and this is your natal progression. This is not your natal chart. But natally speaking, in the progression, you've got Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn, which is going to send a lot of endings and new beginnings. Scorpio's full moon energy in this time in 3 weeks is only going to make it that much more powerful. So depending on how you handle endings and new beginnings, this is the energy you want to tap into. As well as, the end of the retrograde, here's what we have for you. We have the deep blue dragon, keeps you safe by clearing your path. Trust that you are protected and walk on a path of light. You can also use this to protect you while you are driving. You can ask and invoke this energy to help you. Mercury retrograde is known to have a higher time for accidents, delays, and car-related incidences. So you can ask and invoke this dragon to help you or make your senses more keen and aware on your drive to work or wherever, and it will help you. Of course, you have to do the work and actually drive correctly, but given I have a feeling you guys are already doing that, perfect. Now you've got 2 other dragons here. This one came up for Pisces, so this is automatically going to go on in your 12th house. You can use the Earth and Water Dragon. I put it under here and it said to nurture. So this is also about coming from Sirius. So either some of you are somehow connected to Syrian starseeds, or you are one, of which this card is connected to that, but you may know someone who is too. So this also brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge, which honestly, I have these 2 cards under each other. They're matching this green energy and earth energy. And I would tell you, around the full moon is ideally a time where you're going to want to start to do your research on sacred technologies. You could do sacred geometry. I was telling Pisces they can do crystal stuff if they wanted to. You already got it here. Might as well. Then, there's that on top of sacred knowledge is not just about like rites. I mean, yes, it does go with rites, rituals, spellwork, and incantations, but it's basically like the mechanics of how these work, the mechanics of this. And because what I love about working with Mother Isis is she really teaches you that, which honestly, if you want to do the Isis Oracle reading, be pretty beneficial because we go into that. But even if you don't, you can still take that and apply that principle to your full moon manifestations, which is perfect. Also, this is talking about Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. I know because this came up for Capricorn. This is the magenta dragon. So we're working on heart chakra energies. And this has to do with enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom, awaken your soul's memories, and higher spiritual understanding. Prepare for accelerated ascension. So Aries, you're having a very speedy ascension process. I don't know how I necessarily like that. Because for some people, they can keep up with that. You guys can, but you guys burn out also very quickly. So the thing is, Mercury retrograde is not a time to do anything new. So that's where I'm like, take it in stride and just, if you need to go slow, go slow. Don't rush. That's the one thing about fire signs. I love them so much, but dang, do they rush. And when they rush, they set everything ablaze because you're fire and you don't even realize it. And you're like, ruining other people's plans that you don't mean to. And then you're like, oh my God, like they're blaming me because it's my fault. I hear this from one of my siblings all the time, who's an Aries. Okay. And I'm like, well, if you took into account my schedule, Aries, like I could have helped you. You know what I mean? So it's like, I try to not get mad, but I'm like, they do realize I'm not just here to cater to them. Right. And so like, you might want to take that into account of like, that how other people, they're not here to serve you, Aries, they're here to help you, but you've got to work compromises and you've got to work with a schedule and you've got to do your own thing. Yes, but you also need the help of others, but you have to learn how to work with others and their schedules too. It can't always be on yours. So just remember that, okay? So show me please my beautiful fat Dragonfae oracle cards. Show me, please, what is coming through for Aries and how would you like to help them during Mercury retrograde? What are you trying to teach them? Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Oh, I got that one yesterday for another sign. Okay, let me pull another one. That one I'm going to have to read from the book again because I totally forgot. And I read it yesterday. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. I'm hungry. And I'm doing these readings on a time crunch here, so the 30s take a lot out of me, but totally rewarding. I'm definitely taking a nap after this. Okay, hang on. Oh, nope. Hang on. Let's see. Are all these... Really? She's like, no. Okay. Worked with this one. Worked with this one. Not this one. Oh, there was another one. Oh, wow. Okay, Pisces, you guys got a lot. So the Dragonfae are going to help you a lot. First off, let's go ahead and talk about... We got time. I can go through them all. I'm going to have to look up this one and this one, but I've worked with these three. Okay, so these three are awesome because they kind of remind me of the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. Now, the reason I say that is because I know she looks scary and intimidating, but I promise you she's not. I've actually worked with her, the Wild Huntress energy. She is the one who helps you face your shadow, which this full moon and Mercury being in your second house and Pluto retrograde in your, hang on just a second here, in your 10th, it's going to make you face a lot of shadows that you have yet to address. Let's put it that way, directly. I think you've been addressing them. You just don't know how to address them. Now, these can be shadows within the self. Usually, these are shadows from other people. When I have worked with this Huntress Fae, she is the kind of person, as a Fae, Dragon Fae, that her kindness is a little bit skewed than most people would deem it. But there is a kindness in what she does. She goes after the people or the things that it's like, if you've ever seen Alien, you know how that thing just kills, reproduces, and repeats until everything's obliterated? Okay, she's the energy that comes in and stops that, period. And she also, like, takes that negative energy and then, like, destroys it and then moves about on her way. And I think this is very important because it also is a teaching moment about the shadow, and that is her kindness. Her kindness is relieving you of the shadow of, or the community, or the thing. And she in the book talks about, like, the guided channel message was that for her, sitting by and doing nothing does not help. It only prolongs the inevitable. And so her kindness is coming in. For example, like another great example of her kindness is, like, if you ever saw the opening of The Witcher, a baby fawn got hurt in the opening. And of course, you know, it was just televised, but it wasn't real. But Geralt ended up having to do a kindness to the deer, and he ended up having to snuff it out because it was gonna just die a terrible death, and then he used it and turned it into venison. That's very hunter energy, but this is huntress. So this is about the hunt. This is about game, but what type of game is it? The game of shadow, the game of finding the shadow and taking it out. So interestingly enough, you have that going for you. Then you have Pellinor and the Lady. Bittersweet farewell. Now, this is about people who are parting ways or cycles, lovers usually. And I say lovers, and this is also, I have to keep in mind, it is a Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde tends to bring exes back. I normally talk about that, but I haven't seen that happen for a lot of signs, but this came up. So I'm just letting you know, Aries, this is about relieving yourself of cycles that no longer serve you. And I know you miss that person, but it's time for the cycle to end. It's also about saying goodbye, knowing that you'll see that person. It may not be today or tomorrow. It may even be in the afterlife, but you will see them again. And you will feel for them for however long you need to feel for them. And eventually one day you will come back and be reunited. But until then, you have to go on your own separate way and journey. So, because you have other lessons to learn. You have other people to help. As much as we want to take the past with us, sometimes it just can't go. It cannot be allowed to come with us. And as sad as that is, this card comes in to help heal that pain a little bit and to remind us of that. But you got a really awesome card, which is Grandmother Magics. I love working with Grandmother Magics. Dragonfae, I comfort you. So Grandmother Magics, if you're an Aries woman, is going to teach you a lot about your cycle. And if you're at a space where you are no longer menstruating, she teaches you about the view of yourself outside of that, as a woman, as a divine feminine. If you, and this is actually directly from the book too, if you are, it was so funny, I was pulling this card and I didn't understand why, Aries, and then I realized what she was trying to teach me, because I'm at an age where I'm valued for my fertility still, but I'm only seen for having babies at this point. You know what I mean? Because I'm a little bit older. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but yet I'm still seen as that. And the difficulty of having a business and dating is essentially like, it's a constant struggle of having the conversation with my partner, of even building that relationship to then have that conversation. That's something else you have to do at my age, you know. But Grandmother Magics comes in to say, it's beautiful that you're embracing your feminine body, but I want to teach you more about the fundamentals of what being a divine feminine is. I'm going to teach you the old ways of magic that the old healers, the wise women, the witches, the mages, the vulvas, like what we know, what we taught them, because they gave that information to them a long time ago. And now it's coming back, and she's going to teach you the old ways of magic. If you let her, she's very kind. She's very nurturing. She is not rude at all. In fact, she's even like, even to the young ones, she has a message of still wanting to teach them the value of the old ways. But the old ways are her, I would say, you know, for her, the old ways are more than just paganism or Celtic. It's about Mother Earth and her ways, her magics, the magics that like helped ground everything down. And the beauty of working with her, and I've worked with her, and she has taught me so much about myself, that when you're only valued for what your gender is sexually available for, she goes beyond that and reminds you that that's not true. You are beautiful as you are. Even though you're feminine, yes, you are more than just your anatomy. And she comes in to remind you of that and teaches you how to expand on that. So it doesn't matter if you're a maid, a mother, a crone, or you're still single and you're in between those ages. If you're a woman, you know, or if you identify as a woman, let's put it that way too. Because this is divine feminine energy at its, I would say, its highest peak it can go. And so she's going to come in and essentially help you to recognize that you are not only just more than those cycles and those values, but you have value because of what you are, but not because you have that attached to you physically. It comes from a space that is metaphysical. It comes from a space that is spiritual, and she's going to help you dive deeper into that and help heal anything, any issues surrounding those views too, which is great. So the next card that I have is actually the Dragonfae of Rebirth. I have never pulled this one before. I'm really excited. I'm going to read from the book on this one, you guys, because Aries, I think this is something that, this is definitely hinting at the 8th house for me, for you guys. Let's see. Whole again. Okay, page, it's card 11. Let's see, where are we in the book? Oh, I'm like a couple ones back. Here we go. Oh, card 41. I thought it was 11. Okay, maybe I need glasses, y'all. I keep making that mistake. Whoops. Okay. Dragonfae of Rebirth, whole again. We are the ones who have seen you in those moments you humans describe as dark. Oh, we're really going there with that 8th house. Okay. The ones you so often wish to run and hide from, the ones you fear because you misunderstand their purpose. The ones you shun, your loathing of shadow has sometimes driven you to seek an ending. But a literal ending is not necessary. In every culture on this planet, old and new, there has been a ritual that lets you die to your old self, one in which the wise men and women is guided through a journey to their own underworld. Okay, this is talking about soul retrieval most likely, and or soul renewal. So this is like shamanistic techniques. We too know of this underworld as we dwell there from time to time. Oh yeah, this is definitely 8th house because they're talking about the underworld. Okay. And here we are now in this underworld waiting for you to descend in order to be reborn. Fear not your dark moments, for in the dark are the shadows, easeful and rest and deep knowledge of the heart and soul. In this place, the seeds you need to plant can flourish, and you will feel a dark and bad thoughts are in fact manifestations of a desire to, it says, hold on. It says to die to the self that no longer feels itself true, to be captured in its outside form. Okay, I get what it's saying here. It's talking about the 8th house fundamentals of, you know, Scorpio goes through death, reincarnation, and then rebirth and transformation, metamorphoses. This is the metamorphoses. It doesn't mean actually a literal death. It's a metaphorical metamorphoses, transformation. But in order to work with the 8th house, you must let what doesn't serve you go, period. So this is talking about aspects of the self, habits that you know that are keeping you back. Okay, give me a second here. You are making your own soul self, and in this magic and ritual endarkment lie and Yeah, endarkment lie the seeds of your reawakening and your own rebirth. We are with you, circling you and clearing and cleansing your energy. We will enfold you with our energy. There is no beginning and no end, just the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now it feels like death, but it is a death to the old self, not a literal death. See, do not fear. You are about to be reborn. Take heart and know that soon you will feel whole again. So this takes kind of, they're bringing like dragon energy, but it's also talking about the themes of the 8th house with the phoenix, because the highest totem a Scorpio can get is the phoenix, which takes this, it burns itself in its own ashes when it dies and then is reborn, but it also has magical healing tears. So this is why it's like, okay, I get why these are coming through. You've got to let go. That full moon in Scorpio is going to be pivotal for you guys, Aries, because it deals with, the 8th house isn't just like death, transformation. It also deals with sex, sexuality, how we engage with our partner, taxation, legacy. So transformation, crossings, you know, how we get from one point to the other. And death, and it's basically talking about the death card. And everybody it's about a cycle ending that needed to end, that you ended it on your own. It was hard, but you saw it through, and now it's here. And so now, think of it this way, because the cycle has ended, you are truly now free to be reborn, and be reborn in those flames of like a phoenix of the 8th house that the moon in Scorpio is going to help you get through. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a bit difficult, but it will be worth it. Because you also have Gwen and Elishu. I always say this name wrong. I'm so sorry. My beautiful Dragonfae. I know. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get it right. But I'm not. I was telling them yesterday, like, I'm not good with Welsh pronunciation. I'm not from there. I apologize. But I'm trying, man. So here, these two Fae, they speak as one. Dear one, never be surprised at the ways in which your connections to the mother and to the earth are being birthed into the world. If you're experiencing prophetic dreams, sift through the images and messages and know that all insights are worthy of attention, and most especially your own. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if during the full moon in Scorpio, you guys do have some prophetic dreams. I don't really know if other people with Scorpio natal placements with their Neptune have it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I can see with Pisces in your 12th, you're having it for sure. Also with Jupiter there. Also, it does say here, the inner world and the earth's magic are both speaking to you and wishing for you to answer. Do this by connecting with your own inner self. We know that you are searching for answers that are indeed within you, and that path you are walking is not easy under your feet. We all return to her, the goddess, the mother, the earth, and the earth wishes for you to reconnect with her in simple, pleasant, and joyful ways. Friends, food, laughter, and love. Do not fear your own true self, your own intuitive self. There are many words your people use for the truth of who they are, which can lead to confusion, and there has been fear and suspicion seated in your minds, which can lead to mistrust. Know that from your true magical self that you are a being of magic with the blend of earth, air, fire, and water, making up your own spirit. You are receiving messages, and yes, you can also hear them, just as we can hear each other's thoughts before they have even developed into words. In time, you will come to understand these silent ways of communicating and know the truth of your belonging to the old ways. They're talking about telekinetic communication, telepath. Know that all beings, plants, animals, and etheric, have so much to share with you. You are never alone. Now, for people who are not sure about how telepathy works, believe me, there's a whole thing on it. There was like a whole thing on it on Google years ago. But telepathy isn't just an ability. I would say it's a very well-developed ability. So if you're sensing things, it's not just like, oh, you can hear it in the mind. You can also sense it with your hands and your energy. That's a way you can do that as well. Let's go ahead and get into your last blessing, your last Fae blessing, just from the fairies, of how they're going to help you during Mercury retrograde. Show me, please. Clearest of divine guidance. How would you like to help Aries during Mercury retrograde? A blessing from a fairy who is determined to help you. Okay, Aries, this card is one of my favorite cards in this deck as a blessing. This fae is the one who can cast any kind of magic that you need in order to manifest something, and she's going to pull through. She's going to pull through and see it till she needs to see it end, and then let you move on to the next one. This will help you throughout the whole month. So asking and invoking the goddess Freya and this beautiful fae, you can just say the title of the card, to help you will help you tremendously during Mercury retrograde. And also get clear on what you need help with. Are these things that you can manifest on your own, or are they things that you can't manifest on your own, or you need help getting to manifest on your own? That is how you're going to best use this fae blessing. And then make a list, figure out what you can do on your own and how the fae can help you with getting to certain goals, and she will help you, and she will cast the magic to do it. So other than that, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I love you so very much. I hope this helped you guys out during Mercury retrograde. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to tip me. If you would like to leave a tip, you may do so in the link down below. If you'd like to book a session with me, you may do so down in the link below. And if you'd like to join me on Patreon, you may also do that in the description box down below. I will see you in June, my loves. I love you so very much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.